Hey folks, happy Friday. It's Friday, July 27th, just shy of 6:30 p.m. Happy shout out Friday. I just finished weed whacking, cleaning up fence lines. If you guys catch up, if you keep up with the videos, you might know where we are. Some of you might recognize that little deer blind right there. In fact, I posted out of there a couple of times this past hunting season. We are, all right, you can see the barn. We're obviously north of the farm. This is a complete pasture system right here. That was mowed down not long ago. That's why you, actually not too long ago. And then this field here, a keen eye will be able to tell that this has already been baled. We took a first crop cutting off of this field. You can probably also see a little bit of discoloration. Can you see that? You see that dark green and then some lime green there? My words are incorrect, but you know what I'm trying to say. Well, that's on account of my broadcasting fertilizer skills, okay? Here's the deal. For years now, we've made a habit of taking the first crop cutting off of this field, and then it's completely reserved for grazing for the rest of the year. At least 2 turnovers of grazing. It's not going to be long, and the cattle are going to be back here. They're obviously going to hit this first. This was mowed down pretty good, and as you know, we're having a tough time this year with regrowth of not only just obviously the grazing pasture system, but second crop hay in general. The alfalfa is pretty darn fair, but the grass. So anyway, they're gonna mow down this part first. They'll probably only be in here for about 3 days because that's about all this is worth. Maybe 4 if we're lucky. And then they're gonna come out to this. We're gonna give them the whole thing. We're not gonna split it in quarters or thirds or anything like that. They're gonna roam this whole thing for probably 6 days, maybe. 7 is probably stretching it. So just kind of getting ready for when that time comes, which should be in about another 7, 8, 9 days. So what did I do today? Well, first of all, welcome to our gloomy day. We haven't seen the sun all day. Not all day. The good news is there was no rain today, and we were supposed to get some. No rain. Understand that sorghum is still sitting on the ground. Half of it is. And yes, I know you're probably getting frustrated. I made a big to-do with the sorghum and a bale count contest and everything else, and trust me, there's nobody more frustrated than me. Let's talk about the sorghum for 2 seconds before I show you the fence line. We received no rain today. We actually did have a breeze all day long. Now without sun, not much is going to happen, but without rain and that nice breeze, there was some dry down on that sorghum, which got drenched. Tomorrow's supposed to be complete sunshine. Perfect world, and I think I'm biting off a little too much here. Perfect world, I might be able to get baling by 1 and finish the sorghum field. I sure hope so. I'm ready for the big dance again. The baler was completely cleaned out. This is kind of some talk here for positives and negatives, which is a video that's going to come out right after the sorghum's done. My baler, boy, I tell you what, my baler got a workout, real workout, and that stuff is pretty nasty. I spent about 2 hours on my baler the other day, cleaning it. Lifting it up and cleaning up all the nooks and crannies and the corners and everything else. Anyway, I'm ready to go. I just need a little help from Mother Nature. That's the deal on the sorghum, folks. Okay, back to cleaning up fence lines. Basically that just means weed whacking for us. Weed whacking, and you better carry that chainsaw with you in the back of the Ranger. Dad and I basically got both the same setups. Both got Rangers with saws and weed whackers and everything else. You can kind of tell here, you know, what's done. I can only assume you can see down that line. And this whole block was taken care of here today. I started on it this morning. I had a couple other things to do today, so I took a couple little breaks. I had to take a couple of runs, run some errands and stuff like that. This is roughly, I'm going to call this about 12 acres. Obviously, you can see the tree line. That is where the fence line is. And then, of course, this fence line here separates the first pasture. So that's about it. Some maintenance, cleanup, weed whacking of fence lines. That's basically what today was. Hopefully it's a different story tomorrow. Real quick here, I'll do a little review. I picked this up. Oh, what's it been now? It's been a good solid month. I picked this up from Tractor Supply. I figured this was my best bang for the dollar, and I'm happy with it. This is the Cub Cadet BC490 weed whacker. This is a 4-cycle, which means no mixing gas and oil. This is just straight gasoline. Obviously, you have your own separate reservoir for the oil. That, my friends, is pretty nice. I do like that. The power's pretty good. This head here takes some getting used to. We'll put it to you like that. I about threw this thing 1,000 times, but because of me and all my patience, I finally got it figured out, and all is well. Very happy with that. Of course, carry the gasoline and chainsaw with as well. That's the Husqvarna 371 XPG. And yeah, had to clear out a couple of tree branches that were a hindrance on the fence line. A couple tree branches that fell on top of it. But other than that, this is squeaky clean, ready to go. We just need a little bit of help from Mother Nature to help this flourish a little bit. Part of me wishes we could let this grow a little bit, and you know, this is some high quality hay for small squares. Part of me wishes we could just leave this for baling, but we definitely can't afford it this year with the pastures. You know, I'm even seeing some comments from others. I think Brad Larson and Will Sowers, you guys are both having some. Now Will, you're extremely dry where you are. My heart goes out to you. But even like Brad Larson, Brad, if I'm not mistaken, you've kind of had basically spitting image weather that we have, and it's one of those years. It can't be explained. Regrowth is it just isn't there. Okay, here, before I do the shout out channel, a little bit of other news. I already told you about the sorghum tomorrow. Cross your fingers, folks. Nobody wants that in more than me, because I got to leave Sunday morning too. I have to. Whatever. It's all good. Going to look at some cattle tomorrow. I didn't plan for this, not this time of year, but I got to go look at them. Neighbor farmer, actually, that tree line, there's also a road on the other side of the tree line. Goes down about another 1.5 miles, 2 miles. He's completely getting out, and has been for a while now. It's part of him getting ready for retirement. If I'm not mistaken, he sold all of his equipment except for maybe a piece or two, and now he's looking to get rid of predominantly all the cattle. I'm gonna go take a look at what he's got tomorrow. Hopefully I can sneak that in there later in the morning before I need to start paying attention to the sorghum. I do know that there's 3 or 4 open heifers. We're talking all Black Angus here. The reason that they're open this time of year is because they were born late last year. To be honest with you, they're roughly a year old. Could they be bred this year? Yeah. October, November, I'm not doing that. I'm not messing up the sequence that we have for breeding and calving. We took a hell of a hit already last year with a disastrous breeding season that we're going to be paying for the next 2 years to regroup. I'm not really in the business to buy cattle that I cannot have bred and produce a calf the following year. Can't afford that. But we're going to see what he has, see what kind of condition they're in, and ultimately, price tag. We'll see what happens. There's also a couple of one or two first year and second year cows as well. And there's also, I've been told that there's also another open 2.5-year-old heifer, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm only going to assume because it's not taking. So we'll see. I'm going to go look at them tomorrow, and hey, who knows? I'm like everybody else. If I can get a deal, I'll jump on it and I'll sit on it for a while. We'll see what happens. That's about it. The only other thing I really got to include here is I need to disappear Sunday mid-morning till Wednesday, and then I took a little saved up time. I'm going to be home for roughly 11 days straight while Dad goes on that horse packing trip out west. I do look at tackling the alfalfa baleage very soon to come, probably in about a week and a half, folks. So, okay, it's Shout Out Friday. I've mumbled on enough. Shout Out Friday. This channel was advised to me by a comment, and I truly apologize. I forget what we're going to call the handle name. The person that suggested this. That's not really fair, but whoever it was, thank you very much. Okay, PA Farms. Obviously, PA stands for Pennsylvania. PA Farms. PA Farms is no stranger to YouTube. Just as of a little bit ago, he had 3,745 subscribers, which that's no joke. That's pretty strong. That is great. He specializes in corn, soybeans, and hay. I've only checked out a few videos of this channel thus far, just enough to go ahead and shout it out to everybody. I'm really liking what I see. The equipment alone is awesome. He doesn't have anything big, spanking, brand new or nothing like that. He mainly deals with Case IH International and some Farmall equipment. Plenty of handfuls of tractors there, and they're all fit for a museum as far as I can tell. I can promise you this gentleman, I don't know his name, I don't think he goes into the house at night. I believe he stays out in the garage and tinkers and paints and cleans and everything else. Just a beautiful, well-organized, clean, proper farm. Very, very much like what I see. Hard worker. What I like most, and I've just seen on only 2 or 3 videos, is the upbeat, positive attitude. I really enjoy that in a channel. I try to do the same. Sometimes I get a little off the beaten track and I start maybe complaining and mumbling and grumbling a little bit. That's just me venting a little bit. I think I do a pretty fair job, but this is not about me. I really enjoy the upbeat, positive attitude. Not only on this gentleman's channel, PA Farms, but some of the other channels that I watch heavily. I watch channels predominantly farming related to give myself an upbeat sometimes. That or if I want to learn something. So when it comes to positive and upbeat attitudes, that is a number one for me. Now, I'm not going to mention any names because that's not in a habit that I'm in. There are a few channels out there that are pretty darn good, but there's a lot of complaining, a lot of negativity, a lot of yelling and screaming, and this sucks, that sucks, and the government's out to get us. And I don't want to hear that crap. To each their own. You still do a great job with your channel, lots of followers and everything else. Me personally, I'm not going to watch that stuff. I get into YouTube, I make these videos, and I watch the channels I watch for basically kind of a stress reliever for myself. Sometimes you run into something you can laugh a little bit, or it's just interesting. Woe me, negative pity party, that's not interesting to me. That's all I have to say. PA Farms, awesome channel. Folks, no stranger, like I said, to YouTube. Lots of followers already. He's almost nearing 4,000 subs. Let's get on in there. Let's give him that 4,000, because this gentleman, from what I can see already, has it coming. If you're not a subscriber, get on over there. If you like what you see, subscribe. I'll admit that I forgot to hit the subscribe button, but within the next hour or so, I will. That's about it. My day is winding down here, folks. I have about another, less than an hour to dink around with a few things. I got to put some stuff away, and I believe I'm going visiting some friends this evening. Miss Krista is up this weekend. She's got some business to handle over at her place, and some upkeep and this, that, the other thing. And yeah, we actually, there's a wedding coming up tomorrow night. Local guy I know, actually part of the big farm that I'm at once in a while. One of those boys is getting married, so basically it's going to be a farm wedding. And looking forward to it, and we plan on hitting that tomorrow evening. It's going to be a matter of when I get done with that sorghum, though. So we'll see what happens. Folks, mumbled on enough. I got to get my mumbling butt going. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're having a nice weekend, a nice Friday. Treat yourselves. Do something nice, especially if you're a working man or woman. Go out and show yourself why you do what you do. That's my 2 cents for the day. That's all I really have. Hope everybody's doing okay, and I hope to give you a few videos tomorrow and an end of sorghum baling video. I have lots to show you. I'm very excited. This is all positive. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give anything away, and we're going to talk to you sooner and later. Have a good night.